Welcome back to Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, it's the Thissy Awards. Thissy's Awards? There's a lot of plurals in there. Anyway, I'm your host, LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual amazing, delightful co-hosts. First up this week, it's Ben. Ben, pick a number, 1 or 2.
2.
That's the whole question. I'm just kidding. Number 2, perhaps the least interesting question, but you could just use the next one next week. What's your favorite drink? We could go, you can interpret that however you want.
It's pretty hard to beat Water Classic.
Gross.
Interesting. You know what? At the moment, I'm sipping on a Rockstar Recovery Lemonade flavor. All right. I'll have you know, they've got some other recovery flavors that have come out in the more recent years, but I do think of this as the classic Rockstar Recovery flavor. Although these days I am partial to a Berryade if you can find it. I got this one at Casey's BOGO. So I didn't have my choice of the flavors because this is what they were trying to get rid of. And, but yeah, I would prefer a Berryade because it's got lower sodium. That's my beverage news for you.
All right. Delightful. Ree, our other co-host, what's your favorite drink?
Sorry, not a visceral reaction. I can't say when people say, I'm like, how? With no
My wife is the same. My wife is the same way. She won't even have plain water. It has to have something mixed into it. Yeah,
it's right? So good for you, though, and the whole point is that it doesn't have something mixed in with it. You start adulterating it, you start letting less good for you things in. Water Classic, it's the way to go. I'm a water purist.
Like all coders, coffee is my answer.
Coffee is a good one.
I make it myself from whole. I guess everyone makes it themselves, but like I get whole beans from like a local roastery that does like they're like, and it's like flavored, but like good flavor. So like whole beans flavored. So like Highlander Grog is one, like sticky bun, they're so good. And I grind it myself and I make it like in a it works kind of like a French press, but it's a contraption that's like easier that uses a filter and stuff. It's called a clever dripper. And so I make it by the cup and I drink it all day long until I'm not allowed to. Keep me up all night. I mean, by like, dairy cuts off evening, even though she would really like coffee. So and actually I gotta get more into cold brew for the summer. So I mean, if people have great ways to make cold brew coffee, it's just like I gotta put it in like a bag and stuff. I don't know. Okay, sorry, moving on. What's your favorite drink, Lauren?
I would probably also answer water if pressed.
Because of the worst, but I love you.
Also love trashy beverages, namely Mountain Dew Zero in any variety. They used to make a watermelon one, Major Melon, that was fabulous. But they don't make it anymore. That makes me sad. But yeah, I love Mountain Dew.
And you prefer Mountain Dew Zero to a DMD, a Diet Mountain Dew?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's a flavor thing or just like more caffeine.
Is it more caffeine in a Mountain Dew Zero than a DMD?
I don't even know that either. I'm making that assumption about Coke Zero and Pepsi Max, which I believe both have more caffeine than their diet alternatives.
I know Pepsi Max does or did, because it was an energy soda, was it not?
Okay, before we move on, though, I have to give a minor shout. Before I quit soda forever, I had a severe soda addiction. It took me years to move off of. I drank way too much diet soda all the time. But like before I quit forever, there was a limited edition called Coke Starlight that I think is the best soda ever.
Oh, it's like a spiced something, right?
I don't even remember what it tastes like. Just that I would drive like to different grocery stores, like to get it because I couldn't find it. I was like obsessed with it. And it's called Starlight. And as we all know, the names of things make them better. So like,
it's
just like, I miss it. It's space flavored?
That's what they say. It's not literally space flavored.
I could taste this. I'm like, after that, they released one called Bite or something that was supposed to be like, it tastes like digital, and it's like, like battery acid that I don't.
Yeah, right.
It's horrible.
I think I was thinking of a different one that was spiced. I like trying new flavors of Mountain Dew, but some of them are just really, really bad. They had a gingerbread one. It was bad. It was something spicy. I can't remember if it was just like jalapeno or flaming Cheetos. It was something that was like,
ew, why?
No, I'm an adventurous eater, but still, that is just like not even going to finish the bottle. This is bad, bad, bad.
You know what I recently enjoyed is this ruby red squirt that I purchased on clearance at the grocery store. It has a little bit of caffeine, but mostly it's got that sugar, and I don't have a lot of sugar sodies. So this was a novel treat. Pretty tasty. Got that grapefruit flavor with that classic squirt bite.
In my real life drinking, I am usually using Mio or the store brand equivalent thereof because it's cheaper than soda and probably a little bit healthier.
Beverage mix thing.
Yeah. Squirt it into my cup of water. And I try to alternate between plain water and enhanced water. All right.
Oh my God. Can we stop talking about water, please?
So good. Listener, tell us what your favorite drink is, especially if we're just missing out on something great. All right.
So this is kind of tangentially related. This monster can, it looks like a white monster, but it's actually old coffee.
Don't say it.
I'm also team coffee. My loyalties are so divided right now. Oh man, I love them all. Good bevs.
Monster Ultra is good, but I try to avoid energy drinks. Okay. We decided ahead of time we don't have anything to say about Caliban. And Sandstorm.
If you do, I'd love to hear it.
Sandstorm will be lumped in with Ozymandias, a 5/9 ongoing. Your rocks have +3 power. Did you get them from High Voltage yet?
Yes. I got them from High Voltage right away.
I
haven't played any games of High Voltage.
How about you, Ree?
I think I'm gonna. But I sure did get that card.
Yes.
Anybody else get that card?
I did get it. I've mostly been hiding from it. I saw there's a hot location too that was about rocks. Yeah, and I think everyone's been having a lot of fun with it, and I've been hiding from the storm. I'm just like, I was in High Voltage, and then I went to Conquest to avoid the hot location because, like, it's just gonna be rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
Ever since I read,
that's accurate.
What is it? What's her name? Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, and feared rocks being thrown at me. If you're into literature, you know what I'm talking about. Right.
Yes.
Because I'm in a small Midwest town. That's what I'm saying. I think I've even talked about it. Okay, moving on.
We have talked about it before on the podcast.
Yes. But also, this is good content because everybody read it in like high school or junior high or whatever.
Right? Yeah. Stays with you. Okay.
It's universal.
I just to round it out, I played more High Voltage than I said I was going to. I said I was going to go until I got Ozymandias. I went one mission set past that because I was pretty close to getting a premium mystery variant. Nice. Was it worth it? Kinda. I got Hip Coulson. I replaced my current Coulson, so yeah, kind of. Yeah, but I am not going to touch High Voltage any more than that. I do not like it. I'm happy as always. Every time I say I hate this game mode, I would like to also say I'm happy it's there for the people who do like it.
Oh, for sure.
Let's talk about Ozymandias himself and maybe the rock deck. Have you seen it? Have you played it?
Which rock deck?
Rocks.
I mean, I've been playing rocks decks. I've been cooking on the climb, baby.
Maybe we should add Selene to this conversation, even though I don't think she's actually a big part of this conversation.
Let's add Selene to this conversation.
But she works in the rocks deck, and she's new this week also. 4/4, Selene, Horseman of Famine. Objective, have 3 cards with no abilities in play. They could be rocks. 2, steal 5 power from an enemy card here. We can just lump all these together. What you thinking about rocks, Ben?
I've been playing some rocks. I've played against some rocks. The first rock thing that I built was kind of boring. It was a little bit, it had Patriot, and I wasn't sure how exciting I wanted to get with it. And I just wanted to see, like, is the boring thing good? Didn't feel that great, gonna be honest. I did not find myself climbing up with that version of the deck. And I went through several tweaks and different concepts. I am more excited to tell y'all about the current rock deck that I'm rocking. It's called Rocks Rock. Shout out to my boy Henry Oak. And the contents of Rocks Rock at the moment, I just switched a card like right before the record today. It had Surge in it, but Surge became Hydra Bob because I needed another 1 cost because, the truth is Prowler was making too many cards and I was losing a draw. So I've decided it was a little more important that I should have more 1s. So I cut Surge. But anywho, you don't know what's in it. So I'm going to tell you. It's Spider Ham, Hydra Bob, Herbaceous Crumb. That's right, Herbie. Captain America, the Sam Wilson one. Spider-Man, the regular one. Rhino, the only one. Captain Carter Cosmo, the Prowler. Debris, Ozymandias, and Aurora. That's right, we're doing mid-rangey stuff. It's kind of a Prowler deck. It's kind of an Ozymandias deck. You know what I had in the Patriot version? I had Sandstorm. Decided I don't really like Sandstorm. You know where I like my rocks? On the fucking board, where they belong. Making rocks in your hand is like, I don't know about it. I don't know about Mole Man. Also, both of those cards, you're sort of disincentivized to play them when the hot location is the Tomb of Rama-Tut or whatever, because, it only gives you your free rock if you don't have any rocks in your hand. So if you play a bunch of cards that make rocks in your hand, you're not going to get your free rocks. You're leaving money on the table. Anywho, the deck's working well. When I was playing worse Ozymandias decks, my ranking fell into the upper 80s because it was just not working, the Patriot stuff. But when I started playing this version, things turned around, and although I have been tweaking it and I can't say it, all the climbing was with these exact 12 cards, I am now back up into the mid 90s, and I'm probably gonna finish the climb sometime before next season and everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's the time to do it. Yep.
Also,
how about Selene? You seen any of her?
No, not even a little bit. Nope, not a card. Don't think that card came out. Not sure that's a real card. Yep, nowhere to be seen. Straight up imaginary. A theoretical card.
I've only seen Selene. Selene.
I like Selene. Let's commit. We're a Selene podcast. We played too much Hades too.
That is why I do it. Yep.
I only saw her once in High Voltage, actually, as a generated card. I was just kind of like, wait, why is my screen taken up? It's like, you haven't seen this. I'm like, oh, well, I haven't. Other than that, I haven't seen, like I said, because, if you're playing Conquest, because you're hiding from Ladder, from Sandstorm, Rocks, then... you don't get to see Red Fire deck? Yeah, I think honestly, it's just the thing now where it's like, she's probably not one that everyone picked to get. So only the people who get every single card, are for sure picking her up, I think, probably. I'm just assuming she's less popular. And with rocks, I feel like I've heard that they're good, or at least people are having fun, which is the point of playing games. And I'm like, it's like, I don't know. I'm happy for other people, but I'm also like sad on the inside looking out the window because once this Rocks was just a meme dream of me and Wombat combat, and now it is meta, and the two cannot exist. I like grew up and sold out and making big money in Hollywood now, and I just miss when it was just like when like I remember once Wombat put in like some like put in death just for moment. It's just like silly, and now it's like, oh, now it's real, and there's like Ozymandias and stuff. So yeah, I'm like, I probably won't have much to say about racks till no one's playing.
That's fair. I got Selene. I have not played her. I have run into her once. She did not win. She didn't even win her lane. It was embarrassing.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Yeah. We were both playing rocks decks. Turns out the rock deck that didn't rely on the 414 with no other synergy didn't matter.
Can you imagine her showing up trying to like, yeah, famine. Like, no, we brought snacks. We're good.
Yeah.
I think she's like emblematic of... we need some cards that are just good cards, right? That are flexible. And the thing is, she's not even that. She's not flexible. No. I'm thinking about like a Drax Avatar of Life, right? Where like there's very few decks, maybe none, where he's the best. He's in the best 12. But there's a lot of decks where he could be in the best 15 or 20, right? Like, so if you're missing cards, he's a great card to have to sub in cards.
He's a big old guy.
Can't even be that. Job. Right. She can't even be that. And I don't know why is she here? What is she doing? And
no
you could make her even bigger, but like, that's not fun. It's just the slop we've talked about before. And I'm just like, I don't want cards like this. I know we have to have some cards that just do numbers, but I want cards that do things like add something interesting to the game, or add a new interaction, open up a new flavor of an archetype, and just like, she doesn't do that.
There's so many more interesting ways to even accomplish like the doing numbers thing. Like, they're just better designs, and this one is not doing it.
Yep. So, I mean, I haven't done my part for the podcast. I didn't play the card that I figured Ben and Ree both skipped, as they should. And, she's just so unappealing.
Yeah, I want, like, now I feel bad for her, and I want to, like, spend 6,000 pity tokens and, like, see if there's something fun there. But, like, I don't blame people for not getting the card. It doesn't look like fun to play. I just don't. On the other hand, Ozymandias, that's a really fun card. I don't think I emphasized this when we were really talking about him, but like, he shows up and he does the damn thing, right? He makes the rocks big.
True.
Like even on a bad day when he's just like a 515, like, that's not what you were hoping for, but it's still like punchy. It still hits. You're still hitting multiple lanes, maybe surprising someone who, doesn't see the most obvious card in the world coming, But sometimes you don't have it, and sometimes they might think you don't have it, and then you do, and it's like, haha, very exciting card. Selene less so.
I had like 2 or 3 people message me with stuff like waiting for the Lauren Ozymandias deck, or like, I was trying to think, what would Lauren do with Ozymandias? And I made this crazy clip, which is flattering, definitely. Like, I appreciate that I'm credited as how do we take a card to silly levels? But I've been trying, and I have like 6 or 7 different ideas for where to take this, but all of them are like, but it would just be better if we did Shuri or Blue Marvel, or like,
I had one with Blue Marvel in it for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything he's the best at. And so like, I think like, I'm glad for the deck you shared, Ben, like a mid-rangey thing where there's not a ton of rocks and you're not like hitting him with Onslaught and Prodigy. Like, you're not trying to
tried that stuff too.
Yeah, that's fun, but you're not going all in.
Yeah, it's just a small package. It's Rhino, Debris, Ozymandias, and of course Herbaceous Crumb. Yes, I'm really pushing that nickname for him. It's fun.
I want to know what would be hilarious.
Do tell.
Stupid.
I want to know. I've been thinking.
One rock with every single other card out, like all the lanes filled with just things that buff it. It's like the biggest one rock ever.
That is, and that's what I've been thinking. Like, if I go all in, I can make 2 very big rocks. But at that point, maybe it should be a Shuri Taskmaster thing, or a Manspider Zola thing, or like there's so many other ways to take that. And I just don't know, like, is it still fun to see like, this is the silly Ozymandias thing, even if there's so many other ways to do it? Maybe my brain's just broken from the other things, but I've actually been kind of disappointed in him as a cute card, but I do think he's.
But he's not, because his point is to make big rocks, and that's the point. The meme was to make big rocks, and now the meme is meta, and it can't be a meme anymore. You cannot have meta and meme together.
I don't think the meta will last. Ozymandias isn't as good as we were afraid he was going to be, and maybe now we seem silly for. I don't know. I haven't felt particularly threatened by his presence on these streets.
Well, now that everyone knows he's coming out, it's like, what? You throw in a Killmonger. I'm sure they can put in Kayer and stuff, but it's more things they have to get together. But like, once it's just one of a lot of decks, it feels like more viable than like just Old Patriot. Right? Like, it feels like it replaces that.
I mean, that's a pretty low bar. Patriot.
Yeah.
Old Patriot is, an antique.
I admit, one thing I did not try. Wait, let me finish my Ozymandias and then I'll talk about Selene. Ozymandias, the thing that makes him distinct from Blue Marvel is his body. He has 6 more power. Mm-hmm. That's real. That's a thing that is valuable. It lets you stack the power in 2 lanes instead of spreading it evenly across 3. So, like, he does have real value versus Blue Marvel. Now, Selene, friend of the pod, Ironcloak, suggested that Selene and Valk can solo lanes, and that is true, and I have not played with that yet, but that sounds fun and appealing. Well, I guess it's a duo. They can duo a lane.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that is really cute. God damn. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Ironcloak has good ideas.
Mm-hmm. This is why I nominated him to be in SnapOnThis. All right, let's talk about next week's card. Just a vibe check on Rama-Tut, our 4/5 on reveal. Use 3 on reveals from cards released before Rama-Tut's time. I'm very excited for this one. It looks silly. Do you think it's going to be good?
Oh, really? I think it'll be like occasionally amusing, but like not fun, really? Like, because when it beats you by a lot, you're like, well, fucking chaos. Like, I can't account for that. And then, but a lot of times it'll be hilarious because like things will happen, but it's just one of those like chaos gremlins that like when it beats you in a way that really, like in a really tight situation, it's going to infuriate you. So it's like,
that's valid.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's sure to be exciting. And it's definitely a real Kang type card. Really reminds me of the Kang that makes the copies and shuffles those into your deck. And I think it's going to be... The thing about that Kang is that I know they're playing it and I can snap against it. So like when I know you're playing classic Kang, I'll snap. But I don't know that you're playing new Kang. And that bothers me because I feel like I deserve to be able to snap if I know you've got Rama-Tut in your deck. But I don't know you've got Rama-Tut in your deck, and that bums me out because I could be snapping if I knew.
I'm very interested to see if the final list of what he can hit is the same as what we saw in the first data mines, because while they have most of the yucky hits out, there are some of them still there. Destroyer's there.
So yucky.
MODOK is there. Like, Destroyer's really, really bad. That's a lot bad of
discard effects in there.
Yeah. There's only a couple discards.
Well, both Moon Knight and Silver Samurai are in the mix.
Yeah. And then
you might be pitching whatever the linchpin of your whole setup was.
True. But I am excited for how it will scale with Wong. That seems really fun. Like 6 on reveals twice each. Or you add a Mystique. You add a Mystique, like 12 on reveals 4 times each. Like it just gets silly. All right. And we already talked about high voltage. Let's get into the OTA that dropped just today as of recording. First up, Star-Lord, Master of the Sun, takes a significant hit going from 4/3 to 5/8. They cited Star-Lord and Mr. Negative as 2 of the decks that are going very tall right now, and they're trying to go back to a mid-range meta. Ree, what do you think about this hit?
We've talked a lot about Star-Lord, and it's just like what you said. Like, we agree. Like, it took out mid-range. It was all about, like, high-end combos, kind of, it felt like, with that. So, I mean, good. I told you this a while back. But that's how they said they want to do it. It's just like they're like, yeah, we just want, especially the new cards, especially season pass cards, just reign for a while before we nerf them. And I guess it's a meta experiment, but I don't know. I didn't particularly care for Star-Lord meta, so I'm glad for him to get the nerf hammer.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Ben?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, it's good that this happened. I feel bad for anybody who, like, you know, there are players with like limited collections, and like maybe they were leaning pretty hard on Star-Lord Master of the Sun because it's a very strong card that you can do a lot of things with. And like, I feel bad for those people who now he's a 5 cost that they can't do as many interesting things with, or like as many, you know, like original Star-Lord is kind of versatile, not the version that we would see in our, you know, matchmaking brackets and stuff, but like, I don't know. I think of like players with limited collections, and like Star-Lord could probably prop up some cool and interesting and like weird little decks. I don't know. That's just me speculating and, you know, making up a kind of Marvel Snap player for whom to feel sorry. But I do feel sorry for that hypothetical Marvel Snap player.
That's a good point you bring up. There, like, it's possible that player bought the card literally less than a month ago.
Yep.
And it's been hit, right? Because you can buy it anytime during the season. So I don't know. I'm glad that they're not letting his reign last too long, but also like maybe he shouldn't have ever been that strong in the first place, or maybe they should have nipped it in the bud sooner. But I'm glad to see it be a big hit, right? Like this makes him a lot harder to double. I mean, he can do like Silver Surfer first steps, but like Grandmaster and Absman, that's pretty much gone. You can get Limbo going, I guess, but I don't know. It seems significant. Cannonball. Just want to read this. I don't think it's necessarily a huge hit. He goes 5-6 to 5-5, but their reasoning, I don't fully understand it. I'm wondering if either of you two have insight. With the Star-Lord nerf, as well as a sneaky nerf to Mr. Negative coming up, we think it's a good time to make another small nerf to Cannonball. What? How are those things related? While we do want to prop up more mid-range centric gameplay, Cannonball and Mercury have been strong with relatively high ubiquity for some time. As with Star-Lord, we think this is an adjustment that will improve the health of the game for the long term. Is it just that they're seeing that their goal is to make mid-range come back, but they don't want it to come back too much?
Maybe. What do you think, Ree?
Cannonball Mercury, like never. Okay. Tangentially, this makes me mad because like Cannonball is just totally unplayable without Mercury, right? When are you ever gonna put a 5-6 Cannonball like in a deck without Mercury? Without Mercury. And now it's like, once again, it's this strategy of like their way of balancing is making certain cards more and more unplayable without their paired card that like makes them too strong, right? How often I don't see Storm that much, right? I still see a lot of Legion. It's just like these toxic relationships in these cards are just hurting one of them way more. And I feel for Cannonball. That's all. All right.
That's a really good point. I will say Cannonball is one of my most played cards. I'm playing Cannonball pretty much in most games because I'm usually playing a Surfer deck with Cannonball in it. And I will say, Mercury's there, but I sure do play Cannonball a lot, even when Mercury is not in the picture. Cannonball's effect is pretty wild, pretty game swinging. Sometimes. Wait,
you play Cannonball a lot?
Not all the time. Yes.
In Surfer.
Yep. Cannonball is like surely in my top 20 most played cards of 2025 and 2026. Honestly, since the Mercury Cannonball, since Mercury showed up, I don't think I've played in a tournament without Mercury and Cannonball. And I've played different archetypes.
But with Mercury, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Mercury is always there, but I will say I do get a lot of mileage out of Cannonball just for his cannonballiness. It's really good. Oh my, so good when people Galactus you. Great with absorbing, man. People are not ready for the second cannonball. They're just not. Just, honestly, sometimes even with open deck lists, like you've given them all the clues, and yeah, Cannonball is a hell of a card. Cannonball does so much.
Does that normally look like you cannonball the Mercury lane and then move Mercury and do Absman?
Like that's the greediest, best. Like that's the blue sky version, but sometimes it's just about doing a second like the effect is really strong. Mm-hmm. And like if you get a rock kill, that's great. But also if you displace their highest power card on the lane,
it's very swingy.
Yeah, because
once again, this is for 5 power on your turn 5. I mean, it's like Jug will do the same thing, right? For like
only on things that were played there.
For the same power. That's true, but that's usually when you want to do it, like time it.
No, I know Juggernaut's Juggernaut, but I don't know. Cannonball is a very strong card, and I'm not going to stop playing it because it's 5/5. Although I am sad about it.
You're not going to stop playing it because of Mercury.
Yeah, because Mercury is also there, but I'm still anticipating getting a lot of use out of Cannonball when Mercury is not around, which has been the case this whole time. Cannonball does so much.
But okay, you're playing it in Surfer. Mercury's gone. It doesn't exist as a card. Is Cannonball going in your Surfer deck?
Oh, of course not. No, it's a whole different thing.
So it's still playable when you don't draw the Mercury.
He doesn't give you enough utility outside of Mercury, though. He doesn't give you enough utility without maybe Mercury.
Is tied to her. You're completely right about that.
Every card has edge cases, right? I get you cards you hate. Like I can find it's like, oh, but it's really good in this situation. It's like all cards have situations, but when does it take your 12 cards absent Mercury? It can't, and it's just making him weaker. And you already wouldn't without. 6.
The answer is Clog, but it's not like Clog's not very good right now. You don't see a lot of Clog.
Yeah,
but
that shouldn't be good. Don't make Clog.
That too.
That is where Seaball goes without Mercury. Because you handled the Mercury situation a different way by blocking the move.
Seaball, I like that. Sorry, that feels like what he goes by after he in
prison
fell from grace in his drug era. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's how I type it. I guess it came out that way. I am moved by your point. It's certainly one we've talked about before, but yeah, the best thing to do with a card ruins all the other things to do with a card. And the best cards are flexible cards, but it's so hard for them. I don't know if this is a built-in problem or a problem that they create because of the synergies they make, but it's like the specific designs get too strong and destroy the flexibility, which I guess makes room for them to make new cards to fill in those gaps. But I don't like it. I want my cards to be flexible and to have lots of cool interactions instead of one and only one that works. All right. 2 hits to Gambit, Horseman of Death. Frigga loses a power, 3/4 to 3/3. And Gambit himself now requires 6 total cost of created cards. I don't know if we've initiated a rotation or not, but I'll just say I don't know if 6 is enough. This card still seems annoying. This feels like the smallest thing they could have done. Like I guess the 2 smallest things they could have done. This card still, I expect to be yucky.
Yeah, how often are they just barely meeting their objective for Gambit? Because I don't know. It usually looks to me like they've got 6 or 7 cost of created cards. That's just my rough estimate. I'm not the one playing it. I'm just like double checking from across the table. But they're never just doing 5. Like
the 6 notably still has synergy with Valentina. You just a single card to play to meet the requirement.
Okay, I actually want to talk about Frigga instead. what, like, a different world we're in now than when Frigga released. I remember when she released, because that was my argument, is like, you really want to play her and you want to copy a small card, and the problem is, what small card is worth copying? You know what I mean? Right. Like, there wasn't any, and now we have so many. It's like, yeah, a lot. Like,
yep, interesting to see Frigga get nerfed. You wouldn't have believed it a year ago.
Right? Victoria Hand. Like, there's so many cards that's just like, yeah, you just want this one small effect from this card a million times. Like,
maybe a year and a half ago. Victoria Hand was out in January, but yeah. All right. Gore. They cite this as a negative nerf. This is the sneaky negative nerf that they mentioned, but also another nerf that we'll talk about in a sec. It goes from 6-1 to 6-1. They also note wanting to make the Hammers deck stronger. That's a very on-reveal heavy deck. I guess we might as well mention Mjolnir now does +7 instead of +6, and Stormbreaker is now a 0-4.
Wow.
Is that enough? Are we going to start seeing the Hammer Bros everywhere?
No.
There's a point where they're going to push those numbers so high, it's suddenly going to break into super OP, and it's because of the way people are going to copy it with other cards and stuff.
You know what they'd have to do? They'd have to make Beta Ray Bill a 3 cost.
Yeah, that would help.
What I think.
Or there'll just be one single synergy, right? Like we've talked about with how Frigga changed or how Cannonball changed. It's like there will be one synergy that comes up in a new card, and all of a sudden Hammer's deck is silly and they're going to be getting nerfs.
Jane, you play all your 0 costs, and for some reason there's a way that it doesn't work with negative at all. And I don't know.
Rhea, I want to hear you talk about Gore.
Okay, I do, but first, while we're on Thor's, I just have to mention it would be perfect if they did make Beta Ray 3, because in the comics right now, Thor has been written out of the universe, and instead it was always Beta Ray Bill, who was like the original Avenger and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, it would be okay. It would be great.
Make Thor a 4.
Yeah.
Swap them.
Oh man, Thor is some weird, like, the stuff going on is like twining so much like old Thor lore together. Okay. Gore though, yeah, Lauren said that because I was complaining before when I was looking at the OTA show notes earlier. Like, because I just started playing my small Hela deck again, and it's a very tight deck that uses like the first Ghost Rider, which is a 2/7 to discard Gore, to discard Iron Man. It's like this perfectly compact. I like love this deck, and I just pulled it out again because I got bounties that lined up again. I was like, oh yeah, it's so sad. It's so satisfying. Like to have like him take out a Sage or Silver Samurai, discards your Gore. You know what I mean? It's like it's hurting them. It's helping me. Bring it all back with Hela. And now it's like, this is the same thing for me as like when they buffed Electro so that he didn't work with Lady Deathstrike anymore. It's like, now he will. Now he will be. He's not -0 to first Ghost Rider. I don't like it. And they're always hurting my fun decks when they buff these cards like this. And I don't care about negative.
Yeah. It reminds me of like when they hurt Mysterio for me, which is like being an off-meta gamer, you don't get hit as often if you like unpopular cards. But when you do get hit, it kills the deck. Like it hurts. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I do think first Ghost Rider is probably fine at 2/6, but
yeah, I think so too.
After discard, and hopefully he'll discard Iron Man instead. But still, I get the pain. Okay, and then they listed a series of cards that they just want to buff. Was there a clear reason? Pretty standard number adjustments. Strange Supreme 2/1 to 2/2. Kyera 3/4 to 3/5. Is it enough? I'd be interested if either of you think so. Weapon X Wolverine 2/2 to 2/3. And Viv Vision 3/3 to 3/4. They note that Viv is a dangerous one to buff because each point of power she gets makes her exponentially stronger, makes her ability easier to use.
Yeah, I think that's the only one of those changes that's really worth paying attention to. I don't think Weapon X is going to have a new lease on life at 2-3. But Viv Vision, maybe. I'm excited about her. I've always been wishing.
I don't think she was bad already. Yeah, so I'm a Viv fan.
Okay. Anything else about any of those 4? It's fine if not.
I don't know. I'm still in my head. I'm like, hammers. What are we doing with hammers?
Yeah. What are we doing with hammers?
What if you do cute stuff like you destroy the hammers and then you bring them back with other? We have so many cards that bring back destroyed cards. I don't know.
And you get Fire Hair and Misery going. It's a fun deck.
Merge him with Strange Supreme. I don't know. There's something probably that already exists if you can just find the right. Because the problem is like the hammers still suck. Their ability hurts. It's like, you know what I mean? It feels like it makes it at like adding more cards to your deck to then draw one card and make it. It's like, I get it, but I bet there's already cards out there that like could super bust this. I don't know. Someone will think of it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, also, I have a painting. I almost took a picture to show you guys earlier when I was going down to find summer clothes because it's so warm. I have a painting. A print of a painting that I bought from the artist of Lady Chain.
Oh.
Thor.
Like comic cover
art? She does not like
something?
to be called Lady Thor. Yeah, someone just painted her because she was cool. It was like when she was new and everyone was like into her. And I was at a this board game convention and I like bought it and I like talked to the artist like a person. Text. This is very rare for me back then, so it's memorable. Okay.
I missed the note. Fin Fang Foom and Gambit Horseman get banned from High Voltage Overdrive. Mysterio unbanned, as probably should have been as soon as his ability changed. Good. I hope Fin Fang Foom is just banned from every LTGM, honestly. He's too swingy.
Just not. I wish they hadn't. I just don't think I don't think we needed a 7 cost that was like good on rate and solos lanes and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it was a good
point.
Idea.
That's a good point, but I feel like that effect is pronounced in events, especially things like Grand Arena and High Voltage Overdrive, where you just get the 7 energy without doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Sanctum Showdown, where he just swings a lane, and there are other cards that can do that, but he's probably the most.
Nobody like that.
Yeah,
I like what he adds into playing around him, though, because you can make him whiff if you just load up your front row with low-cost cards, which there are decks that reward you doing that as well now, too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I will say, like, I agree, he does seem OP, but he adds a new way to, like, play around him that I find intriguing.
Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider introduces the same pressure. It's true.
Well, a different pressure.
It's also being careful about what's in your front row.
Hates Captain Carter, and one of them loves to see Captain Carter.
I see. You're right. They're not exactly the same. You have to be considerate of your front row. Just like Negasonic has very slowly trained me to be, when I'm playing 2 cards in the same lane, I play the smaller one first.
Mm-hmm.
On to our side quests. First up, Week in Snap. Ben, how was your Week in Snap? Keep it snappy.
Oh, my Week in Snap. Endeavoring to keep it snappy, as I always do, especially when I remember to set that little 5-minute timer. But you know what? Super didn't once again. But it's always there, counting down in spirit. So I'll do my best to honor when it would be going off. Well, I've been playing a little bit of Marvel Snap. A lot of it was, in fact, the Ozymandias experimentation that I already talked about. I don't know. I went through so many decks, and they all got deleted because there are only 20 deck slots, and I've got a lot of the, I still keep a lot of my earliest decks assembled. I've got a whole bunch of Heimdall move decks that are not exactly seaworthy right now, but they are each an interesting piece of my history, and I will not be disassembling those. And it's just it's tight in there. So I don't know. I can only tell you about that one Ozymandias deck that I built, because the others are lost to the sands of time. Seems somewhat fitting. Anywho, other than that, I had a great time playing absolutely no high voltage overdrive. Just dropped the gold, got the card, got out. Most of my card gaming this week has been, surprise, surprise, Slay the Spire 2. I am nearing, I think, the end of this stint with Slay the Spire 2. Oh my gosh. This is a small digression. So there's a beta branch for Slay the Spire 2. I'm not even participating in the beta branch. I'm being boring and just playing the main branch of Slay the Spire 2. But they're testing some new balance updates in the beta branch. And it's got a few fucking crybabies review bombing the game on Steam, which seems like the kind of thing Snap players would do, honestly.
For what? Because of the balance changes?
The issue is that they changed a few cards to make it a little harder to go infinite. You can still go infinite. There's still like a zillion ways to go infinite, and it's not like by the time you've gone infinite, there's usually something in your setup, like some relic that's going to deal damage as you do. Like if you go infinite, you never really get to go all that infinite because you'll kill the enemy. The enemy will run out of HP and stuff. But yeah, there are some crybabies who are like, but I wanted it to be really easy to go infinite, and I hate that they're balancing this game in early access and taking away my I'm like, I guess they're taking away your toys. They're going to take away so many of your toys. That's early access. That's the name of the game. Y'all don't even know about the deleted boons in Hades 2. Oh man, all the boons that once were, all the different versions of Tidal Ring, all the solar rings that had the prominence flare built in. Yeah, the game's going to change. It's okay, especially when they're making it a little harder to go infinite. That's like good. That's healthy. I want the game to be interesting and challenging, and each run to be like unique and distinct and like have emergent, exciting things happen. And if you're just like making the same 3-card infinite combo every time, like that's not Slay the Spire, y'all, or at least not the way I enjoy it. But yeah, wow. Card gamers can be some fucking crybabies. You heard it here first. So that's interesting. But as I mentioned, I think I am nearing the end of my stint. Good for you, Ree. Good for you.
I always cry.
That's also valid, Lauren. Nothing wrong with it. Everybody poops, and at least half of people cry. So I think I'm nearing the end of my time with Slay the Spire, at least until a bunch more content gets added or something, or until more Ascensions get added, because that's right, folks, I'm almost out of stickers to earn.
Wow.
I'm doing Ascensions 9 and 10, and they've only got 10 Ascensions right now. So with that, I don't know what I'll do after that. Probably go back to Mugenics for a bit. Maybe there'll be a new Montabi playtest that isn't at the same time that new Slay the Spire content is out. So like I could actually give Montabi some time if they do another one of those. But yeah, I'll probably be back on Mugenics also, probably just this week for the first time in at least a couple weeks. I wielded the old controller and I played a little bit of Hades 2, doing some fresh file labbing, seeing what to do there. I'm still chasing that sub 20 with no beach ball or a breaker rush. It's a harder road to hoe, but in my opinion, a more fulfilling one. That's pretty exciting. For me. Other than that, I don't know. All kinds of games on the horizon that not new games. Oh my gosh, these 2 new games that I've purchased, Mugenics and Slay the Spire 2, in a 2-month period. It's unheard of. It's fiscally irresponsible, and I shan't be repeating it. So no new games until I don't know. After. I don't know. No new games ever again.
I doubt that.
Yeah, maybe. Who else had a weekend Snap? Let's hear about it. Three.
Okay, so unfortunately, I didn't have anything I was really interested to talk about in Snap, so I have prepared a relet for you that has some like real short things and some longer things, so we'll go through it till I've talked too long or I'm too tired. So please pick a number between 1 and 4.
we are both
Shit, I was muted because I was doing some coughing. I say 3
muted.
and also I say 3 with an RIE in it because portmanteaus.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Mine was gonna be 4, but we could do 3 first.
Okay, so 3 was that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm doing some research for a next project. And I learned, okay, you know the story of Jason and the Golden Fleece?
Yes.
Right? Okay. The I thought this was so interesting. Just wanted to share. So the Golden Fleece, right, actually has like an origin in history. So like the idea is, so we went down into Africa, right? And they saw this golden fleece, and I'm probably mispronouncing this because to be honest, I've only read it and never ever heard it said, colchis. And, and so that's where the golden fleece was found, and they found in the region. Okay. So it turns out in very specific areas where you can pan for gold in rivers, right? It's like the American West, there's all the stories of the gold panning there. And this is one of the few places in where you could actually like kind of pan for these gold particles. And it turns out like sheepskin is like very good at like panning, like at like getting these little gold flecks out of like the water and capturing them. And then they would hang them up in the trees to dry. And so it'd be covered with all these gold flecks. And while it's like, they can't like super confirm, obviously, because it's so far in the past, but it's like the Greeks didn't like know about gold pan. They like imported their gold mostly, and it was like through other means. So when they traveled down and just saw these like golden like sheepskins hanging in the trees, like they thought, right? It seemed like magic, or like, like gold sheep exist, or like, but it was just really like an old method for collecting gold. And they have other like, and it seems right because it's like the way they depict the golden fleece, like hanging in the trees and stuff like that. Anyway, I just thought that was like super interesting because I'm like, yeah, why is it a golden fleece? And I'm reading this book about this like woman who just like wanted to know those things, and it's like investigating all these like, but where did it come from? But why do they think griffins? Like where did all this? And it's like, oh, I find that so interesting. Like I feel like we would have been friends like in another time. Anyway, so. That was number 3.
I picked number 4.
Okay. All right. And then that'll probably be it because that was actually one of the longer ones. Okay. This was something like I had actually briefly talked about before. So I was talking about a new project that I'm working on because I know I've talked about my Merm game rumor on the podcast before, and I was like in holding for it for a long time because I got music for free for it. I'm so excited to like play it for you. It was so good. And so we're holding it for that, and now we're finding all the final steps of like going through the process of like getting it out. So there's these things holding it up, but I'm looking at now I'm like, okay, I got to figure out like marketing and release it, all these things. And it's like, we're in a different world of how to do things, even than we were a little bit, like, and the internet keeps changing. And I found this like, it was on Substack. I just like randomly ran into it, and it was talking about specifically kind of like the death of Spotify, but broadly, it made me think more broadly anyway about how, so if you didn't know, the way Spotify funds its artists is that like, you think this is how it makes sense and how you would think is like, oh, well, they get a listen per stream or something. No, how they do it is that like there's like a set amount of like bank for like paying out to people, and then like they percentage base it, right? So all the money goes to the highest percentages. So like if you listen to some small indie artist like all month, right? All the money you paid for Spotify is still going to go to some big artist you never listened to because they just have a bigger share of the market. And he was talking about how, so like Spotify with a big, it's no longer good for artists, right? For most artists, like the vast, like everything kind of in our world, like if you're not in this very small, not really achievable number, when you look at that number, there's just like a ton of nepotism usually in these small numbers. It's like there's this myth that you can like break into it, but the reality is like most people are born into or near it. And so like this idea though, like, right, is it's like when the internet started for us, like, you know, it was this way to get discovered as this fresh because they didn't find ways to like clamp down everything. And now, like Spotify, it's like, it's not good for artists. So what you see is you start seeing these artists leave Spotify because, well, for a while it was like, well, this is the only way your music gets heard. But it's like, if it is not putting bread, if it's not keeping you in the business of what you are doing, then what is the point of even being heard? You can't keep doing it. And it talked about how artists are now leaving to go like to basically just form their own communities, kind of like a resurgence of the original internet, right? These people are like making their own discords. It's about building your own community that like likes you and supports you, because like even beyond Spotify, look at how the algorithm operates like in so many different arenas, right? It's controlled, right? And it's not to say no one ever can like break like viral from nothing, but for them, you know, the majority, it's like, or if you're achieving it, right? Something you could get made could just get stolen and used for a reaction video on YouTube. Another big thing, right? Was that so many people's original YouTube videos weren't getting watched, but people were watching streamers just sitting and reacting to the YouTube. That's what they were watching. So like the original content, like it's not sustainable, right? So then those people, we're shifting to look for, okay, we used to chase the algorithm. How can we adhere to the robot brain to like, you know, get further? And there was a point, I think, where learning that was rewarding, kind of like the idea of statistics. Like they were useful when they first came out and you could use them to judge players. But once everyone knew about them, you know, and now it's like chasing that is no longer like a viable way for someone who is not already big to be sustainable. And I just thought it was a really interesting thought about like, it's so when I am looking at something like, how do I market a game, you know, and I'm, you know, and like, Lauren has looked at a lot of stuff like this too and shares stuff. And it's just kind of like, how are we navigating this internet that's really built to like just funnel all of your efforts up, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Without like rewarding you for them. How do you fight that to be able to make what you make sustainable? And I was even telling like this idea, it's the same idea of leveraged buyouts and, you know, like private financing and stuff where it's just like hollowing out stuff. It's like not sustainable. The people who are vulturing content or they're not making it, right? They're just taking pieces of it. And if you don't sustain the creators, I don't know. Now I've mixed this with like a rant. I was being like, how do we change and stuff? And now it's just like, you know how it is. But, I don't know. I just thought it was just like an interesting observation that blew up in my mind into a lot of thoughts. Feel free to share if you have anything there. Otherwise, I think that would be I think I've talked quite a bit for my week snap.
I appreciated and enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
I do wish it was easier to just make art, or even doesn't have to be art. Just for the world to let us do the things our brains are broken for, you know. be a better place.
Yep. Honestly, I don't know how you can talk about the topic at all without taking it somewhere ranty, you know? I mean, it's one of those rant-worthy matters of the day.
That was like, that was the freedom of the internet, is that you could reach your art. Because it's like, when you think about art through history, it's always been controlled by money, right? It's like the church had all the money, you know, like the Catholic Church. So that's where all the painters went, right? You'd have as an artist, you would look for a rich patron, you know, and you're like doing all these portraits of like people's kids you don't care about and stuff like that.
Yep.
Right? And then we found a way where it's like, oh, you could connect with people to like, you know, so it wasn't, and now we're back to like, it's like,
right. It was really democratizing and
egalitarian.
Yeah. Now it's they're breaking it down. I also see articles about people trying to claw that back and kind of going for a very anti-machine internet, and that's interesting. I don't know where that's going to go, but
it's hard. But the thing is, if you're chasing something that is already proven to not sustain, you know what I mean? To like not reward you, then you have to move somewhere else. And that's not to say like, I'm going to revolutionize it, but it's like you have no option but to creatively search for something different, because chasing what is there will not get you anything, you know, like playing by their system that's just meant to take your efforts, you know, and like suck the juice out of them and be like, yes, please keep, you know.
Yeah. It's not a game that you can play. Yeah.
It's something I mourn for myself, and even more so for my child. Or just like, my child is such an artist, and like school doesn't really feel like the right fit. And like corporate America definitely doesn't feel like the right fit. I want my kid to just be able to create amazing art. And I think he could make an amazing difference in the world and like contribute to the world in a way that matters, but like hard to survive that way. Not impossible, but it's hard.
Yeah. You can do good stuff as long as you're like not that interested in like eating tonight or whatever.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But you can't, because like you do, like if you don't eat, then you die eventually.
Yeah, that's the point.
That is the thing.
Yeah. Oh, I hate how much of my time I am donating to something I have no passion for. My job. Okay. Sorry if you're listening, job. I don't think any of them are, but you know, if they are. I like my job for a job. It just doesn't, you know, it doesn't make my heart sing. All right. My can snap. I did a snap clip. It's discarding 13 marrows. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, fun.
Also, it had a very good deck name, which is Quiver of Marrows.
Wordplay!
I always feel good when I can come up with a good deck name. The other thing I want to talk about, DBZ, of all things. Did either of you watch DBZ as children or as adults?
I've seen some of it for sure.
Before and after things I wanted to watch, but I have had a long held disdain for it. I think maybe the first like I don't know, the first funny thing I remember thinking to myself, that's a funny thought, is I observed that the first half of Dragon Ball Z is called Previously on Dragon Ball Z, and the second half of Dragon Ball Z is called Next Time on Dragon Ball Z, and nothing ever fucking happens on that show.
Right. That's definitely what I thought about it. So I went 37. I went 37 years of my life without having seen it.
Oh wow. Impressive.
Maybe I'd seen a couple of the early episodes here and there. My friends were super duper into it in like late elementary, early middle school.
Yeah.
And so I knew a lot about it through osmosis, but it didn't interest me. So like there were other things they were into that I also watched, like Zoids I loved, and we were all into that. But Dragon Ball I wasn't super duper into. But my wife was watching Dragon Ball lately, and I kind of got into it. And then she decided to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai, and now that's what we're doing at night. That's our show right now, is Dragon Ball Z Kai, which if you don't know is like a faster version of Dragon Ball Z. There's more to it than that, but they cut the filler episodes and they remastered some stuff. Anyway, I'm loving it. It's really fun. It reminds me of my ex-girlfriend had me watching Naruto, something that I just brushed off, even though it is so wildly popular. There must be something to that. I was like, it's just probably just another shonen, right? But then like I watched it and loved it and then stopped watching it at some random point when we broke up. But someday maybe I'll get back to it. I don't know what my point is, other than I am watching Dragon Ball Z for the first time and it's fun. It is, it's a little vapid. It's shonen, but not that all shonen's bad. I love My Hero Academia. If you don't know, shonen is like
be Vegeta.
Yeah, shonen's the word for like manga and anime targeted at like young boys, teen boys.
Lads.
Yeah, so it's all the superhero shit. That's not super duper violent. And I like all kinds of anime.
Ooh, you know what I have been? I'm got to do a real quick shout out for
let it rip.
Steel Ball Run on Netflix. That's right.
New JoJo.
It's like Ultimate JoJo. It's not in the same continuity. Check out New Zeppelin's Grill. If that doesn't sell you on the show, I don't know what will. It's a fun time. There's only one out yet. Looking forward to the second one because the first one was fun. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I would love to tell you I only like mature anime or anime for the girlies, but I really do love all of it. And it turns out that, regardless of media or genre, you can tell a good story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's where that thought is. I've been flabbergasted by how cool the concept of fusion is, and despite having access to that very cool concept, they hardly ever use it. I'm like, you have so many characters. Why didn't you mix and mash them in all these different ways? I don't know. I don't know why they don't do it. That's something that Steven Universe did better. I'll say it.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
On to our secret homework.
In Steven Universe, I'm like, this is that shit from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, there's a straight up fusion dance, right? But and in Steven Universe, you get to see all the different mixes.
Once they're both gone from the soccer team now, but I love how I feel like DBZ alone pushed anime mainstream, to where two of my soccer players did the little fusion
oh really
dance after they scored a goal. Yeah, I was and then you see there were wrestlers, pro wrestlers referencing anime and JRPGs and stuff, and I'm just I
think Sailor Moon also played a very big role there.
Okay, yeah.
Fighting evil by moonlight,
bringing anime to the West.
This may first manga.
Never running from a real fight.
Go ahead.
She's the one called Sailor Moon. Or I think those are the words.
You were more. They sounded right to me, and I watched that show a lot as a kid.
I read the manga because that's how my sister was. We got to get the real source material. Yeah, fascinating stuff. Oh, she had she ordered the bootleg VHS tapes with the fan subtitles and everything. Oh, we were deep in the Sailor Moon world. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the dolls, and still my mom insists there's no way she could have seen it coming when I came out as trans. But yeah, because every 10-year-old little boy is into Sailor Moon dolls. Okay, on to our secret homework. This week's secret homework from Ben.
Oh, that's right. It's it's that time of year again. We didn't do it last year on the air, but you can imagine that privately we had our own Snappy Awards that the listeners just weren't privy to, because we're back again. It's awards season on Snap on This. It's the Thissy Awards, and I announced the categories last week. But before we get into it, I gotta open with a song, right? That's how all the best awards shows start. Unfortunately, yes. I've not written my own song for this, so I will be borrowing from another awards show. But if you know it, you can sing along at home. Not on the Zoom call because there's a delay and that shit just doesn't work. But if you know this one, sing along at home. Who will will be the baby of the year? Look at their rolls. Look at their folds. Look at their rummy bummy tummies. Heads are round, bellies are squishy. Look at the toes like so many curled canned shrimp. Are they ticklish? Are they jigglish? Can they be tricked? Can they be chucked? Which ones will move? Which ones will talk? But more important, which ones can dance? Oh, who will be baby of the year?
All right. We just watched that like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's a fucking banger, right?
I have no idea what that is from.
It's from I Think You Should Leave, from the very first episode.
Very first episode.
I feel like I should watch that.
What a sketch. Okay. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like, it's one of my favorite things for you.
Your subreddit keeps like showing up on my feed, and I'm like, these feel like my people. I haven't seen the show, though.
They probably are, if I'm being honest. Okay, so now that the song's out of the way, the first category, I don't even know if we should go with the first category. Is pretty big. I feel like maybe we should save it for the end, but let's just do them in the order they were announced. Best season of 2025. I think it was really hard to narrow this one down, which, you know, I was surprised. So many of these seasons I had some fondness for. I feel like sometimes it's easy to remember the stinkers. I'm looking at you, Undead Horde. The seasons, for those who have forgotten, are Dark Avengers, Brave New World, Prehistoric Avengers, What If? New X-Men, Masters of the Arcane, Fantastic Four, Heralds of Galactus, Visions of the Future, Undead Horde, Arachnid Anarchy, and Weapon X. So if I had to pick one, and I guess maybe I do, I think I'm giving it to Masters of the Arcane. I thought about maybe doing ranked choice voting, but it just sounded like a little more work. So we're just keeping it loose. I'm saying Masters of the Arcane, but I would love to shout out the What If season, the new X-Men season, and of course Arachnid Anarchy. These are all some of the strongest seasons I think Marvel Snap has ever had. 2025 may secretly have been kind of a good year. I don't know if I would have, you know, if you'd asked me last week, was 2025 one of the best years for Snap? I would probably have said no. But hey, there were some good times, were there not? I don't know. Which seasons did you folks like?
You guys go ahead first. Oh, me? Okay.
I'm doing the new homework, so.
Oh, okay. So we'll go in that order. Got it. Okay, so I went with the Prehistoric Avengers.
Ooh, strong.
I liked Agamotto, and I thought it was a good variety. I know, like, they're not all, like, the strongest cards that people still play, but I thought they were, like...
Khonshu?
Yeah, there's, like, a lot of interesting cards. That's what I'm saying, right? There wasn't, like, the AI slop. They were all, like, cards that were doing stuff. Yeah. And I love Agamotto still.
Yeah, Agamotto is cool. Any other honorable mentions? Anybody else that you want to shout out?
I have them for other categories, but not this one.
That's fine.
That's just fine. There's no wrong way to participate in the Thissy Awards.
I had a lot of I had to think about how I was doing this, because the category is best season, and it's like, what does that mean? Is it my favorite? I don't know that any of the bests are also my favorites. I also don't know if any of the bests are the strongest. So I was very torn all around. And ultimately, I decided for my best votes to go to the best designs. The ones that I thought just, you know, that felt like a good overall thing. Because like at the strongest season, especially in retrospect, I think was Dark Avengers. That's got Iron Patriot and Victoria Hand and Moonstone. Like it has a lot of makers in there. Funnily enough, I gave the nod for best to Undead Horde.
No, you didn't.
What?
I know. This is a season that I do not like it thematically, and so this was like it was a hard thing to give my nod to. But I think they did a great job introducing a new archetype, and keeping
After they buffed it 3 times?
Well, yeah. I mean, so the balance maybe wasn't there, but like the designs were good. The way it was spread across multiple series, the way that there were horde cards that could hook into other archetypes, and the way that there were zombies that weren't horde cards. And I think that they like, if I was like, hey, you need to invent a new keyword and make an entire season around it, I actually think they kind of crushed it. Not that you still see tons of zombies today, but like, do you see them sometimes? Sometimes they're good.
Yeah, I see Mr. F around. Mr. F.
I played some for Sanctum, but to be honest, I still don't have all the important cards for the zombie deck. Like, right. And I know there's some that like don't go with it or are important, but I don't have zombie Mr. Fantastic, so I've still not gotten to play like full-on zombies, to be honest.
It has some big fails too, right? Zombie Captain Marvel and Zombie Sentry are both bad cards, but like Headpool, decent card, locks into a completely different archetype. Mr. Fantastic, as mentioned, is a horde card, but doesn't really play in the horde archetype. Hunger and Zombie Giant Man are both great Series 4 cards. Well, one's Series 4 and one's Event, right? Yeah. Anyway, my favorite was a lot harder because there were several themes that I liked, but I picked What If because I don't know if I would have ever seen, like I doubted that we would ever see What If, but I love that show, and so it was very exciting to see some of my favorites like Captain Carter and Kahori actually make it as cards. Yeah, hopefully someday we'll get another one so we can have Birdie, but it was a great start. I liked that season.
I mean, aren't we getting another one? Isn't that is that confirmed?
No, the Glenn's emoji hints, I don't know that we ever covered them on the show, but it was later revealed that the question mark was for, they're doing, what's it called? Avalon? They're doing like Britain Knights shit. Yeah.
And we're getting Surfer Jubilee as part of a beachy season. Is that?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep, in June. Mm-hmm.
Though she is from What If, right? Is that
she's like just a glance in What If.
She
just flashes by. Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's a comic book basis
she's
that I'm unfamiliar with, but I think that's straight off the Disney Plus.
They have enough cool cards to do a second What If season, or enough cool characters they haven't touched. Who doesn't want Detective Nebula? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Detective Nebula.
Yeah, everyone does love Detective Nebula. All right, we've got consensus on that. Get with the show, Graham. Second dinner, give us Detective Nebula.
After
Nebula
Runaways, but yes.
All right, so I guess, do we narrow it down to one? Honestly, I could shift camps to What If. It was definitely my second place, my second place season. Honestly, if I allow myself to consider buffed Captain Carter, not forecast Captain Carter, I don't know.
I could go for either What If or Masters of the Arcane if we have to have a single winner.
Ree, what do you think? Masters of the Arcane
we have to have a
versus What
single
If?
winner?
Well, we're just discussing and like trying to like, if we could give the Thissy to one,
Okay. I think I would pick What If between the two, even though it's close. I really like.
Oh, I said Masters of the Arcane, but I meant BC. BC had lots of fun designs in it. But
yeah, Prehistoric Adventures was a good season. Honestly, if everybody's feeling strong on Prehistoric Avengers, even though it was not one of the ones I listed, I could throw my support behind it. It was a good season.
It would have been my runner-up, but
all right, let's do it. Prehistoric Avengers, congratulations! You have won the first public Thissy for the best season of 2025, or really any year, because when we did the awards last year in secret, it was so secret that we may not even remember having done it. Anywho, the next category, best card in a season pass roll. I suppose I will mention mine first. as I've said on the podcast before, I do think that sort of like the poster child for a well-balanced season pass card of 2025 or any other year, Galactus First Steps. Not my favorite season pass card, but the one that I think is doing the job the way it should be done. That's a good card. They haven't buffed it. They haven't nerfed it. People still play it. No one got angry at it.
It's true.
It's got engaging gameplay. You can interact with it. Yeah, I respect it. I don't like it. I'm going to be honest. So we're going to talk about the season pass cards that I do like. I like that Captain Carter, that 3-cost Captain Carter specifically. Although I do think that 4-cost Captain Carter would have eventually seen some daylight, I think.
After Maverick, yeah.
Yeah, yep, specifically then. But probably, I think it's for the best that we got 3-cost Captain Carter, and I love her so much. Very excited to play her all the time in all kinds of decks, playing her in the Rock deck, Rock's Rock. And I'm playing her in all kinds of other decks. Just a really fun card. But I feel like the listeners know there's a name that I gotta say here for the best season pass card of 2025. The one that I love the most. The one that they've nerfed it twice and I'm still playing it. That's right. The omniversal presence of Merlin is felt here. Oh, yes. I love Merlin. I love those spells. Man, what a good card. What a cool card. What a fun card. I feel good when Merlin's around. I love seeing that you played Magic and just knowing that I'm getting all the goddamn cubes today. Oh, wow. Merlin. What a guy. What a mensch. Okay, so those are my those are my 3 that I'm nominating here.
I like thinking about it as
for different
nominations.
Reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. I also went with Merlin. Undeniable.
Yeah.
I think, I feel like a lot of good season cards, obviously. A lot of them are good. But Merlin, right? Also, like, still, even double nerfed has knocked Nico off her throne, right? Honestly, I feel like they could be sometimes, but I feel like when you're picking between the two for, whatever reason, a lot of times it's going to be Merlin. Unless it's, like, for Destroy or whatever. But, like, and that's one reason I picked Merlin. He goes in so many different kinds of decks, right? He's got a lot of versatility because the tools are good for a lot of things. So, and right, it's like a card that gives you the ability to change location as just one of its tools, like, makes a lot of other cards a lot weaker, to be honest. So, to me, I felt like it had to be Merlin. What about you, Lauren?
I considered Merlin strongly for both best and favorite, but ultimately went with Sam Wilson for both.
Good.
Best and favorite. Definitely the one I have played the most, even after all the nerfs. Admit I haven't played him nearly as much since he gained the on reveal instead of starting with the shield on the board. That and Mysterio kind of hurt my favorite deck in the game. But still, I think it's a super cool design. I think it is a great example of a card that can be used in a ton of different ways, lots of flexibility. And even the new version can go very easily into Aurora decks because of its double keyword plus an extra ongoing card. The thing that I think both Sam Wilson and Merlin do well is they give you things to play with. They're kind of like toys. Like every turn you just throw out another spell, or every turn you get to move that shield. And I gave the edge to Sam Wilson because he's just a much more approachable card between the two. I think that Merlin is a more of a card gamer card, whereas Sam Wilson is an everybody card.
Sam Wilson is super good.
I do like Sam Wilson a lot, and I do think as far as season pass cards go, it's up there with Galactus, although they have had to touch it more, But like, I've kind of liked every version of Sam Wilson, and I haven't played it as consistently as you have, Lauren. But I've gone through some Sam Wilson phases throughout the year, and I'm playing Sam Wilson right now in Rock's Rock, and I've played it in a lot of Aurora decks, and I'm happy about the card. I got positive associations with Sam Wilson. I think also great card for new players or players with limited collections. And it does feel like a toy that you get to play with and find cool things to do. It's a very compelling case you've made for Sam Wilson.
That said, I can very easily be persuaded for Merlin.
Yeah, I do kind of have to ride for the wizard. I don't know. But I don't know. Ree, what do you think? Are you swayed by these Sam Wilson arguments?
Okay, she did just make me. I was like, I do want to play Aurora Sam Wilson. I love Sam Wilson. Like, I like Sam Wilson more than Merlin, specifically because I don't like clogging my hand with polymorphs, and I don't like I love Cersei. She's so fun.
Your hand with polymorphs. I don't even know what that is, Ree. I don't even know what that is. More polymorphs. I always want more polymorphs.
Really? I those are the ones I tend to play least because they're so unreliable. Because I feel like with Cersei, you're usually doing cards. You have more of an idea of what they'll be. They'll be more good, and they'll be more good. What am I saying? But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I do want to transform. Yeah. It could become a Black Panther or something. But with polymorph, you're usually using it on tiny cards that easily could become a card. You know what I mean? There's so much less. I like a randomness, but like in different situations. Anyway, so like I usually sometimes I just won't play them, or I'll just play them on empty. I like things to move werewolf around where they're it's like
you do occasionally have to play a polymorph without a target. That is true. Sometimes you do just let one go to make room in your hand.
The last time I was playing Merlin, actually, with like a Prowler deck and all of this, I kept he kept clogging my hand with I'm like, I don't want to play this polymorph.
I feel like that's Prowler's problem. I was just talking about how I had to put in an extra 1 cost so that I could be clearing out room in my hand for Prowler skills.
Oh, okay. So I got distracted. The whole point. Sorry, was that I was excited and you're like, Aurora with Sam Wilson. I'm like, I could, that's like a mid-rangey deck of different tools. Like, Aurora gives you a way to put, I'm like, and it excited me for a deck, which I like. It's like, I like to jump on those because I don't get as excited anymore because I don't just spend time thinking about Snap like I used to. And I'm like, I want to put together little Aurora tools. And so I am like, okay, I have like 8 cards I don't have from the Series 5. But I can roll twice. And the first time I just did it just now when you're talking. And I got Mr. Fantastic Zombie first. I'm like, well, there you are. Mention you. And then I was like, okay, we blow the last. We blow the last of the tokens, and I got her. And now I can build a Sam Wilson deck. Okay, sorry, with Aurora.
Awesome. Just hype. Aurora is a very fun cooking card.
It's true.
I will say, I'm fascinated that you're like clogged your hand with polymorphs because I'm that way about Once in Future. I do not get that card. I have tried to get that card because I know Ben loves Once in Future, but for me, that is the one I do not want. Do not give me Once in Future. I want anything else.
Well, here's the thing. It's a Merlin deck if you're running good targets for polymorph and Once in Future, and that's pretty easy to line up because they like the same kinds of cards. And like... If you have good Once in Future / polymorph targets, it's a Merlin deck. If you don't, it's not a Merlin deck. Like I faced this with Rock's Rock, the Aurora deck that I've been talking about all episode. I always feel naked when I can't fit Merlin in a deck, especially if it's, kind of mid-rangey. But the thing is, there were not appropriate targets for Once in Future and polymorph, so it couldn't be a Merlin deck, which was heartbreaking. But, I guess that's why Sam Wilson's there, because they're not really friends. You never see them in the same place at the same time. Sam Wilson and Merlin, are they the same guy? Who knows?
I think I was running both of them in my pet deck.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I just find that they clash. That's been my experience.
You're
as
absolutely
a person
correct.
Who likes to play both of them.
No, you're correct. Merlin was a clash in that deck, but he was still fun. Okay, so who are we giving it to? Are we giving it to Merlin?
That would be my preference, but like you made a beautiful case for Sam Wilson. Ree, what do you think?
Okay, so Sam Wilson, low-key favorite. Like maybe should have won. There's always those contenders where it's like it was stolen. But I think that since we both chose Merlin, it kind of makes sense to go with Merlin, right? That's where I'm at.
Yeah. All right.
But Sam Wilson does get the official big Thissy shout out, the most honorable mention. We love you, Sam. If you're listening.
I blew on my
also,
tokens.
Anthony Mackie, if you're listening, we love you too. All right, I think we're ready to move on to the best card in a Series 5 roll. Now, this one is a much wider field, obviously, of possible contenders. I honestly felt a bit lost in the supermarket myself. I don't know. It was hard. I went with Surge. Who do y'all love for Series 5?
Oh,
you just sold me.
I forgot Surge. I mean, I just forgot. I was looking through. There's so many cards, right? Mm-hmm. And I somehow missed Surge, and I'm like, wow. Okay, no, sorry. Good call.
Who
do you have more to say? Okay,
who did you pick?
Honestly, I was so daunted by the many products on the shelf.
All right, so this is the first one where it's like
I went with Surge.
Okay,
I just sort of went yeah. Reed, what you got?
Okay, sorry, I was trying to. I didn't want to. Okay, this is one where I started having lots of thoughts, and I wanted to give a personal shout out, even though I know it can't be best Series 5, to Hydra Stomper. For building move that I love. I did not like playing move, right, at all. And I loved Silk, right? And Silk stopped kind of being good in non-move decks, right? I used to play in all kinds of shenanigans. And Hydra Stomper was the key to pulling in this. I love a Hydra Hammer, Silk, Batrock the Leaper, and Hydra Stomper kind of is necessary to that. So thank you, Hydra Stomper, for taking an old enemy and turning it into a friend. Okay. And then I had to give honorable mentions to Invis Woman First Steps and Maverick because they're just really strong cards.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the one I gave it to was Victoria, one of the very first cards of 2025. Because I had to look it up. I'm like, well, she was in 20.
Strong contender.
Right? But it's
I sort of think of her as being a villain of the year. This is interesting.
Right? She started this trend. She was the first one where it's copy. I mean, not the first. I'm sure there's other ones. But it was, you'd put these copies of her into play to started that trend. She's really strong. She also still enables shield stuff that's fun. And I feel I don't know. It's where I landed. What about you, Lauren?
That's an interesting choice.
I'd forgotten Surge.
Can I squeeze one little Maverick thought in? Because I thought about picking Maverick as well, but then I thought about what his role is in the evolution of the game, and especially as we look at all these data mined Maverick cards, I'm is Maverick? Are we the baddies? So I don't know. That's just a part of my deliberation was I love Maverick and I love hanging out with him and making big broods and stuff, but is he a force for good in this game, or is he a herald of bad times to come and worse things? I don't know. Lauren, what's in your heart? Who's on your ballot?
Unlike you being overwhelmed with the supermarket, it was extremely easy for me to pick my favorite Series 5, Firehair. No questions asked. Didn't have to look at the list. She's one of my favorite cards in the game. Such a cool design. You can do so many cool things with her. Best was a little harder, and there are definitely a bunch that are super strong. But I ultimately picked one Herbaceous Crumb as the best designed Series 5 card, an excellent introduction to Robots Mean Activate, a card that, as far as I know, hasn't been tuned. Maybe it's had an adjustment, but I don't think it has. And that's impressive to make a Merlin or Nico type card that does not need to be tuned. And pretty strong, too.
Yeah.
Not the strongest, but pretty strong.
Didn't land on its feet partially because of bugs, I think. But it seems strong to play now. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Cool card that I do not play enough gets my vote for the best. So we have a bunch of different answers to choose through. I think Surge is pretty compelling.
I like Herbie. Ree, who did you have again? You had someone, Victoria Hand,
but I would like Surge is just so good and like universally almost, right? Anytime it's like what card, it's like there's rare that she's not good to put in.
But as surprised as I was when you said Victoria Hand, the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that's a card that has changed the game and also like, you know, is kind of an archetype unto herself. And also, like, she sort of brings that Victoria Hand flavor, like, wherever you put her. Like, there are different things you can do with Victoria Hand. And, like, I feel like maybe my personal distaste for what she's about, like, may have been blinding me. Like, it's a very impactful card that, you know, for better or worse, like, we're living in Vicky's world now. And maybe she is, like, the Series 5 of 2025, whether I like her or not, you know?
I could see her being the, if you had to pick a Series 5 to represent 2025, I could see her taking that role.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know if she's the best. I don't know if I want her to have that role.
She's very strong.
Well, does best mean strongest?
No, I mean, like, it means so many different things at different moments.
The most fun. Those are different things.
Can we narrow this one down to a single card? This one feels harder to narrow down than the Season Pass or the Season Pass card. Like, there were a lot of Series 5 cards.
Yeah. I mean, are you opposed to... Didn't you bring Surge yourself?
I did bring Surge myself, but I'm like, was that even the right pick? I don't know.
I think it's kind of impressive Surge hasn't been tuned, has she? If she has, is minimal. It's not like Mr. Fantastic First Steps who had a similar role, but
I feel like did she lose
got nerfed into oblivion?
I think she started as a 2/2. Yeah.
Still, she does the core thing that she meant to do, and Mr. Fantastic First Steps, I actually see him more than I thought I would, but it's not very much.
Yeah, he's a surprise when I see him. It's not that he's never around, but I'm like, I raise an eyebrow.
You're correct. She was a 2/2 at launch. And went to 2/1 just 3 months later.
Did Mr. Fantastic start as a 2 or was he always a 3?
He started as a 2 and he was everywhere.
He was so busted. Everyone called it, right?
Yeah,
like,
he was
really
so
cool busted at 2.
Yep, it was the most obviously overpowered. Like, yeah, man, just need eyes.
But that goes to my point is like Surge has a very similar design, but has been able to stay at 2. So like clearly a more successful design.
Yeah. Surge is a good one. I don't know, but I love Herbie. Can it just be a 3-way tie? Can we each have our? I feel like it's a year. These are strong 2 costs, and like they're each. I feel like they're you know the. I don't know.
That is interesting. We all take
a deep truth of Marvel Snap and the year 2025. And that's what I think. And you know, like Herbie did call the Robots Means Activate shot, you know, before the rest of the robots showed up. And we do have to hand it to that Magic the Gathering ass design choice. I don't know. It's hard to pick one because we each, you know, brought different ones with, and there's such a need for each of. I don't know. If it were up to me, I would make it a tie.
It's your award show. You picked the secret homework. If it were up to me, I would make us pick one.
Ree, what do you think? Should we pick one or should it be a 3-way tie?
Pick one.
Well, how do we pick one?
How do you feel about Herbie and Surge, Ree?
Between the two of them, Surge. To be honest, I don't see Herbie.
I think it has to be Surge, Ben. Ree and I are both okay with Surge, and you brought Surge.
Consensus.
I mean, I'm fine with Victoria Hand, too. I'm just saying, like...
Right. I would be also, but I feel better about
Surge, and I do hate Victoria.
Ben is the host of Thissy's. You can pick Ben.
I feel like it would be wrong of me to put my thumb on the scale for my own nominee here. And
it's
the awards have become known for integrity over the years. I don't know. Let's fuck it. It's Herbie. I don't know why. It's Herbie.
Okay.
All right. The one we've all been waiting for. In a Series 4 role. I guess I have to go first because that's just how it is. I'll say it. There may be some people wondering if this is category fraud. Is this the bear being put up as a comedy? I'm saying the best card in a Series 4 role, Mercury. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, but Ben, there's a category yet to come that is best card in a technical role. Isn't Mercury a tech card? Sure, maybe for the narrow-minded and, persnickety among us. But I don't know. Mercury is also just a general use card, just a great card, a self-moving card, a card with a very versatile effect that, sure, it does hose specific archetypes, but also it's part of a very powerful, freestanding 2-card combo, just a sweet little package with Cannonball and just a really it's very good with different locations. Like you're never like, oh no, I teched against move with Mercury and now I'm in a bad matchup where Mercury's not going to do me any good. Like if Mercury's not doing you any good, then you're doing something wrong. That's what
Mercury's a Series 4 card?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I thought she was a Series 5. Sorry, Mercury. I considered you for the wrong card.
At least that Series 5 footprint.
Yeah, for sure.
Other honorable mentions. I don't know. I couldn't remember which cards were limited time game mode cards. I really.
What's wrong with them being? They can be limited time. Sure, or you mean you couldn't remember which ones were Series 4?
No. I was like, which ones are a limited time game mode cards? Because I did make that wild game time decision that we weren't doing the limited time game modes cards as a category, which I totally should have made them a category. But last week I was like, no, we're not doing that category for whatever reason. I don't know why I felt so strongly about it.
I think both of mine are limited time game mode cards for what it's worth.
Well, that's fine. Because I also want to shout out my boy Batrolk the Leaper. He's a Series 4, right?
Yep, a very good card.
That's a hell of a card.
I didn't realize he came out in 2025. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong set of cards.
I don't know. Did he? He might have been a 2026 card.
No, he's not 2026.
Season was he?
He was in the
season?
Was he in the set of 3 that came out alongside Hydra Stomper?
He's been around for forever.
Released in April.
My problem.
Like a full year ago almost.
Right, I'm sorry. I looked at all the wrong cards.
Oh, that's all right. Somehow you've been nominating ones from the right category, so I don't know. So yeah, I gave my honorable mention to Batrolk the Leaper, and yeah.
Did you bring any Series 4, Ree?
Oh, for me? Okay, yes. So I'm hearing though, I think I would edge. It's got to be Batrock the Leaper for fun over Mercury, but both of those are better than the one I picked because I was missing them in the category. But I picked Marrow because like out of the list I was looking at, and I will share a deck with this. This is one I told Lauren about before a podcast and I didn't feel like talking about. And it's like honestly a bit more combo-y than I usually play, but I still have it together because when it hits, it's really fun. And it's like Quiver. I want to call it Quiver of Marrows because that's such a great name Lauren came up with.
You can also call it that.
Yeah. But it's so silly. It's got Moon Girl and Marrow with like Wild Child, Scorn, Super Giant. Because the thing is you want to play Super Giant and then MODOK. And then, like, Moon Girl usually on the last turn. And then, like, your Morbius will get big because you discard a lot. And then you've got a bunch of Marrows. Just, like, destroying it. -7 is big. Especially when you can duplicate that a bunch of times. Especially if the people who are playing, like, Iron Man. And, like, cards with text on them as opposed to power. And, like, it's also got Deken, which I love playing. Wild Child, Proxima, things, you know what I mean? Just like discard your hand kind of deck and blink to help you get the MODOK out. Now you can win without MODOK, but that's not the fun of the deck. Like, you know what I mean? Which is where I'm like, every time I don't like get to do the full combo, I'm like, boo. So that's why it's like it feels a bit more like negative-y to me. It's a bit more like you need to Kid Omega's in it because you gotta help Wild Child out. So I was gonna, my brain said something different. Okay, huh?
I really thought about Wild Child, but then I remembered that I think it was a limited time game mode card. But I almost gave this spot on the ballot to Wild Child because I think Wild Child is a very cool and well designed card. And it's
honorable mention, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, because we've never gotten something that really, we've had cards that are for destroy or discard, but they're really like mostly just one or the other. You know what I mean? And like not in combination really realistically, and Wild Child was the first thing to start changing that. So, and giving reason putting together. So anyway, this deck is hilarious, fun to get to Proving Grounds, get it out and like, or whatever, but like, I'll share that. I did have one note when I was looking at these cards, which weren't all the right cards, but I wanted to call out that I know ahead of time looking at these, I thought skills, these low-cost skills that were coming out, were going to be among the best cards, like Web Sling. Deafening Chord got nerfed. Deafening Chord would be a contender if they didn't take away the minus power with it. Aside from that, I was like, none of the skills are in my top contenders for best series 4. And I just noticed it's like, oh, that was something I was like wrong about, like before they all came out, I thought, and it's not that they're never played or they're not good, I do see them, but like they're less, card ruining, I guess, than I thought, or less powerful.
Yeah. I'm thankful.
Yeah.
And now let me introduce 2 Series 4 cards we haven't talked about yet. Both are standalone skills. My favorite Series 4 of the year is Astral Projection. I totally understand why it wouldn't win this, but I've had so much fun with this card.
I love it.
Am I going to still play it after Strife comes out? I don't know. Maybe not. But it is cheaper, so maybe. And for best of the year, I think the single best designed skill in the game, Fastball Special, is thematic. It is actually a skill. It is interesting.
The most deserving skill in the game.
Has a good animation, and it's a fun card. It's a good card. Targeted Destroy for 2, I think is a really cool card. I looked over all the Series 4, and I could have gone with something like Batroc, which is very fun, but also I think maybe too strong.
Maybe. It is the best 1-drop.
It's a crazy card. The Fastball lets you do all sorts of things. It's mostly like Nimrod destroy things, but you can do other cool stuff with it, especially with its buddy Adamantium Infusion, which maybe I'm not the biggest fan of that combo. But anyway, those are my pitches. I'm gonna throw those in. I don't expect any of them to win while Ben is here.
I mean, Fastball Special, I mean, as I said, it is the most deserving skill card, to have a spot as its own thing. I mean, I guess Astral Projection is sort of similar in that, that's a thing that some characters do.
It is actually a skill, yeah.
I vote for Batrock, even though none of us...
Yeah, he might be a little too strong, but he's so much fun and he's so cool. And like, he and Hydra Stomper are keeping our girl Silk in the mix, and that's been a cause of our podcast a long time. Silk to 2/6 when yesterday, if you ask me. But I feel like the consensus for Batroc the Leaper is, I mean, we just love him so much, right?
I could give it to Batroc,
right?
I could give it to Batroc, but only because of his contributions to Sanctum Showdown.
Oh my God, what a rock star he is there. All right. Anybody have any last shout outs for Series 4 cards that they love? Or are we ready to move on to our final category?
Pull the trade.
Best card in a technical role. So there was one card that I have to give my full nomination to, but I would like to give a little shout out to a runner up, an exciting tech card that I think we needed in this game. Yeah, I don't know if I thought that way before it came to join us, but Cosmic Ghost Rider, what a cool card. Caring about the front row, as we mentioned earlier, and I think before the card came out, I was like, what, we really needed a double red guardian, a big clunky super red guardian, and the answer is yes we did. What a cool card. It works different from red guardian, and it's cooler than Deafening Chord, and it's just a big fun 5-cost card. You know how hard it is to make a cool 5-cost card? Pretty hard. But, we play this one, and it wins games, and it's neato. I like Cosmic Ghost Rider. But y'all know it had to be Stardust, right? It has to be Stardust. Now that's breaking new ground for Marvel Snap. I mean, is it a stolen Magic the Gathering design? Sure, all the best ones are. But, do you remember when she was 4/7? Oh, the times we had. Oh, the dreams we crushed. What a hell of a card. Oh, and nobody believed. Oh, nobody believed. But like, the stats were there on my Snap.fan. I was just like looking at them like, this card's fucking nuts. You play this card, you get 2 cubes a game. That's just the truth. And when it hits the board, it just wins. And sometimes you don't even know what you're Stardusting against yet. But like, it's usually right to play her. God damn it if she doesn't rain on parades. And very often my own parades. As I mentioned, I just love mavericking out a huge brood, but you're getting one body if Stardust is around. And now that Sammy's on reveal, Stardust can rain on his parade too, and that's exciting. Sometimes I try to play him in the same deck. Sometimes it's a mistake. Sometimes I can't be bothered to remember which cards are already on the board. Sometimes I'll play a Sam Wilson who goes unfulfilled. No shield to pick up. I mean, what good's the mantle if you don't have that damn shield?
It's fine if you've got a roar there.
Yeah. Man, Stardust, hell of a card. Anybody have a card they're as excited about as I am about Stardust?
No.
But what cards do excite you?
I'm not that excited.
Anybody that fired up about Cosmic Ghost Rider? Ree, who are you fired up about?
So, I mean, I did the same. I put honorable mentions, pre-nerf Deafening Chord, which we already discussed.
Pour one
and
out.
Then I was also looking between Cosmic Ghost Rider and Stardust, because Cosmic Ghost Rider or Red Guardian, when I'm looking for my one all-round tech, I hate to not put any tech, in a deck if I can just like find one slot for it. And when I can only fit in one, it's usually going to be Red Guardian or Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider, depending on what deck. It's like they're kind of can be universally used if applied right at the right time. And but then I also went with Stardust pretty much for the same reason, because it was a new Cosmic Ghost Rider does. I mean, not exactly the same, but the same thing Red Guardian does, right? Like, and Stardust was a new form of tech we never had before. And, you know, I was with you, Ben. I also thought Stardust was very powerful. So, I mean, I really just kind of went the same route you did in my thinking. Lauren?
I am somebody who gets teched against, not somebody who techs very often.
In good spirit, for sure, yeah.
But certainly when I play other people's decks, you know, I had a ton of fun with a Doom 2099 deck this year that ran both Cosmic Ghost Rider and Sandman, and had a blast with that. So it's not like I'm 100% anti-tech. It's really hard for me to feel good about Cosmic Ghost Rider when he ruins so much of my joy, but sometimes he's fun. I gave the best to Mercury. I know we had the conversation about how maybe she's more than just a tech card, but her thing with Cannonball is certainly more than a tech card, but her ability to move and all that's Nocturne, right? Mm-hmm. Like the reason we're playing Mercury is her tech. And that was really important earlier when, you know, Human Torch was everywhere because he was so good. Yeah. In my bracket, I don't see a lot of move. So Mercury is not super important to me. And maybe the only reason I'm putting her here is because I like her for non-tech reasons. I also added Stardust. Stardust is just, it's good, right? Like, if we have to have cards that are, what do they call them? Release valves. If we have to have those, she's such a good one. She's so versatile. She attacks a bunch of different strategies, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you need a way to stop Hela, sure. Like you could use Cosmo, and that'll take care of a lot of the things, but not all of the same things. Not globally. You don't have to guess which lane if you're playing Stardust. So
Destroy just has to go home.
Yeah. Nimrod is toast. There's Doom 2099's in trouble. There's so many things that Stardust handles, and I think I ended up ultimately giving her the nod because it's an elegant design, whereas some of the other tech I feel like is either just copying something we've already seen, like Super Adaptoid, or it's just
forgot about Super Adaptoid.
Yeah, or it's just not very interesting. I don't know, like Gorgon is there, but like mostly I think Mobius is just the better energy tech than Gorgon, right?
I like Gorgon. I got goodwill for Gorgon.
No, I think sometimes it's right.
Got to mention Cobra for the sake of the original Good Egg Wombat Combat. I thought about putting Cobra in my Rock's Rock deck today, but he didn't cost one, and that was the problem. I needed that one cost so the Prowler wouldn't fill up my hand all the goddamn time like he does. Wombat
needs to plug his ears as I say I did not even put Cobra on the tech list that I sent out to Ben and Ray. But you're right. Cobra's totally tech.
I played him in high voltage. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. There are real places. Cobra's having a moment, right? Yeah. Cobra is super duper fun when Monster Island is hot. I'll tell you that much.
I do want to say about Mercury, your choice. So Stardust is like just only tech. You are only playing Stardust to tech against things. You're not even really using Stardust usually in a pro. You know what I mean? Like you have a card she's going to work with in your end.
Yeah, sometimes really you get extra clones and you shut it down before your opponent can get extra clones. And that's about like the only proactive thing to do, like location stuff.
Right, yeah. So just like board dependent stuff, not like a card in your deck. I mean, and it can single-handedly, like Mobius can, take down some decks. But the beauty of Mercury is not just like taking down a move deck or a couple other decks, or like the synergy with Cannonball. She adds the reach to your deck, which I'm like always, it's one of the things when I'm building a deck, I always want a card that reaches, by moving, or like a Mr. Fantastic, something that lets me get into a location I can't play into. And I love Mercury for that, so Mercury is is also worthy, but like, yeah.
I'm a pretty big Mercury fan, and maybe I was doing category fraud nominating her in Best Series 4 because, she does, a big part of her identity is, in fact, anti-move tech. Can we give it to Mercury?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
I love you, Stardust. If you're listening, if you're out there, I know Stardust listens to Snap on this. She must. But yeah, I think the Thissy for 2025 tech card, best card in a technical role. Let's be proper. It goes to Mercury. And with that, it's time to let all those stars go back up into the night sky. We no longer need them here in the Snap on This theater, and of course the red carpet outside. It's been a joy to celebrate everything that's good about cards in Marvel Snap and seasons. Oh, the memories we all had in 2025, and it's been delightful to revisit them with my wonderful co-hosts, the Academy of anywho, it was fun, but now it's time to find out what next week's secret homework is. Catch y'all next year with more Disney.
Bye. All right. Have either of you heard of Infinity Spin?
That sounds familiar.
Okay, this is the secret homework this week. I have not tried it yet, but I've checked it out. When I first heard about it, I checked it out. My secret homework is for you to play Infinity Spin at the normal difficulty. You could play more if you want to, but that's the assignment. I'll send you the link. I'll put it in the show notes and video description. I won't get too deep into it because that's the whole point of next week's homework,
is
to discuss
game?
Our experience. It is a fan-made roguelike deck building game for Marvel Snap.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It randomly gives you a deck full of cards costing 1 through 3, and then you start in Proving Grounds and you do challenges and roll new cards, upgrade your deck. As you win and complete extra challenges, you get extra rewards. It's pretty cute and clever. So yeah, it's in the browser, but it's something that you use to.
Okay.
It's like a framework around Conquest mode to turn Conquest into a roguelike. So as far as I could tell, there wasn't an option for like making sure you get the same seeds so that all three of us could play the same one and compete. But we could still. I wanted us all to try it. I've been looking forward to trying it myself and just haven't gotten around to it. And then we can talk about it. I would also love to hear, listeners, your experience if you have played or end up playing Infinity Spin.
I might stream it. I don't know.
Ooh, could be cool.
Maybe we should all stream it. That could be fun.
Someday, maybe I'll be a streamer. Okay. Listener, viewer, thanks for being here. We appreciate it so much as we're making our little human art dent in the delightful world that we live in today. If you liked what you heard and haven't already, like and subscribe. We're aiming for 500 subscribers. It's a round number, but it also lets us like kind of monetize on YouTube, and that's something some people have expressed interest in. That's not my like subtle way of like referencing my co-hosts. I mean, actual listeners have asked.
No, listeners, a way they can support us. How can we?
Yeah. And currently, there's not an option. But getting 500 subscribers would get us there. Maybe, I don't know. It just feels good. Rate and review. Leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify, or come hang out with us in the Speakeasy. It's our little corner of Discord. The instructions to get there are in the show notes or video description. It's part of the Snap Judgments Network Discord, or Snap Judgments League Discord, because we are part of the Snap Judgments Network, where you can listen to other great shows like Snap Decisions from Joe on Mondays. He's a casual player with lots of comics and MCU knowledge and brings an interesting angle to the game. Went a long time without hitting Infinite, and it was a massive achievement for everybody in the community the first time he hit Infinite. And now, as far as I know, he's done it multiple times. But that was a fun journey to follow.
To my knowledge.
Yeah. All right. Listeners, tune in next week. See what we think about Infinity Spin. And I think we're rating the April cards next.
I think we are too. I was afraid we were this week.
No, that's a next week thing. We're going to rank the April cards. Find out how much more excited I am about April than March's cards. Tune in next week. Same Snap time, same Snap channel. What's left on the roulette?
Okay, we'll do the short one from the roulette, which is, did you know that whales sing lower than they used to?
No.
Or no, sorry. Whales used to sing lower. That's my note. I wanted to say dramatically, and then I got it wrong. Whales
like over what lower. Time period?
Okay, so I was listening to the news, as I was telling you earlier, and spent too much time being depressed. And, like, it actually rolled over into something I probably wouldn't have clicked to, but, like, they found this recording that was just labeled, like, fish noises. And someone pulled out and, like, well, you know, it's probably not fish. It's probably whales, right? And it's maybe, I can't remember if it's the earliest, but it's at least one of the earliest recordings now that they've ever found of whales singing. And they're like, oh, it's amazing to get that. And also like the ocean, the sound of the oceanscape. Like at that time it was so different, right? And there's like only so many recordings. But apparently because now we have all these big ships going around, it's changed the sound in the ocean. And the low tone that whales used to sing at gets overwritten. So they like octaved over time, they octaved up their pitch to be heard over all the like the noise we as humans have put into the ocean. So like whales used to sing lower. Yeah.
That's both very sad and very fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and it ties in. I mean, now I feel like I should like self-promo because like I just put sound in my ocean game. It's, you know, will come out as soon as I finish going through all the steps you have to go.
Yeah.
It's the first one, so.
Yeah, right. The second one's going to go way smoother when you get to all the, I don't know, all the whatever you have to do, all the processes and all the boxes you have to check.
So much of success in creative things, or even just like internal success for yourself, is just like about doing the damn thing and then maybe doing it again, but at least doing it once. Come on.
So let that be an encouragement. If you want to do something, like I said, like, you know, if it's like write a novel or like make and put out a game, I am glad I am not learning all this stuff on like, you know, my bigger mobile game that I've been working on for a long time. I'm glad I'm learning it in this. And, you know, and my lesson about gaming has always been for me that it's like I need to contain myself more and more. The reason I was researching this next project is my next project I was really excited about, but as I started working on it, I realized it was in a jam game. I'm calling them jam games. So again, it's small games for
small scale, yeah.
You know, for me. And this one I realized it was like, oh, this is going to end up taking much more. And if I'm, you know, putting that work, I'm also trying to learn how to work multiple projects. One's better, but but then I should just be working on my big one. So we're keeping it small, and it's like when you start, you just do stuff and put it out. If you want to make YouTube video, whatever you want to do, it's you thinking about it and planning for it and prepping for it is like just never going to do. You just need to start doing it and doing it small and doing it little, and go out from there. You know, just do it. But don't like capitulate to like speak. Nike shouldn't be allowed to have a fucking goddess's name. Okay, anyway.